Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome to MRM Sports. I'm your host, Ronald M. As you can see, Chelsea.
United we stand, we support Chelsea the Blues.
We get our season in Champions League up and running. Okay, we'll talk football later. Thank you for the new subscription. Those who have subscribed to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll always be dropping more football content, man. But yeah, it's UEFA Champions League Matchday 3 review show for the final match which is played on the was it the 5th of October on a Wednesday. Yes, man, beautiful results. If it depends on who you're supporting, of course. If you're a Seville supporter, then not so good. But then overall, man, I'm a happy guy. Chelsea finally came through. And can I just say this, right? Graham Potter finally has a victory in a Champions League match. And he did it before Arteta could ever say he's a Champions League coach. I mean, I can't believe Potter, in his management career, he's already been a Champions League manager faster than Mikel Arteta. So that's a good thing, man. But yeah, man, that was a beautiful scoreline. Beautiful match all around by Chelsea. I'm being honest. I'll give you the results for the other game that I have to talk about Chelsea first. That was a beautiful result by Chelsea. And a beautiful game plan again by Chelsea. I mean, I can already see the signs of what Graham Potter is trying to do. I genuinely can see the signs. And it's a good thing because, you know, for me, the signing of Aubameyang now makes a whole lot more sense. Because I thought when Tuchel got fired, we might have a problem with Oba because maybe he came there for Tuchel, but then the board and Chelsea owners did assure him that it was the club signing, not a coach signing. And you can see the goals he scored so far, man. He scored one against Crystal Palace on the weekend in the Premier League. And it was a striker's goal. Again, tonight, he was right the way you expect a striker to be. And in all honesty, if you didn't have Oba, I don't see Havertz, because Havertz would have started in that number 9 position. I don't think Havertz would have scored that goal. Not because it's a difficult chance, but then Havertz wouldn't have been where Oba was inside the Tofiat area. So, man, yeah, that was a beautiful game, Ben. We'll talk more about Chelsea. Let me just run through the results of the night. Leipzig won 3-1 against Celtic. I mean, another player rumored to be signing for Chelsea very soon, Nkunku, was on fire on that game. I think he got the first goal. I didn't watch the whole match, but then I think he did get the first goal. And then Salzburg got a penalty against Dinamo Zagreb. And Salzburg and Dinamo Zagreb are in the Chelsea group, which means Salzburg are top of the group now. And then you have Benfica played to a 1-0 draw against PSG, man. It was a surprising scoreline. An own goal by PSG. And a sublime Messi finish for PSG, man. That was a beautiful goal by Messi. The coach scored one of the beautiful goals. I think this is what CR was worried about. CR7 was worried about. Because in all honesty, I don't see Man United playing Champions League football again this season. And in CR's mind, Messi will be throwing away on that record. And then also you have, like I said, Chelsea 3, AC Milan, shockingly, AC Milan 0. I think that was a shocking result. And as much as I love the performance, I thought Milan would give us a tough time. And then you have Juventus finally beating Maccabi Haifa 3-1. Man City doing what Man City does with Haaland getting a brace. He could have easily scored a hat-trick. The only way to stop Haaland from scoring is if Pep withdraws him from a match. He could have got another hat-trick tonight. Remember, City did get a penalty, and if Haaland was in the field, I think he was going to take it ahead of everyone. And then also you get Real Madrid with their youngsters. I think Real Madrid is running a sweat shop, man. The way these youngsters are bowling for Madrid, someone has to tell the UN to investigate Madrid, because these youngsters are stepping up to the plate. They're no longer youngsters. Your Rodrigo's or Vinicius Jr., bro. Like, you can see these are young guys. But they're playing big ball football, bro. They're stepping up to the plate. They're showing the world that they're young by age, but then they're footballing brain and the way they move around the pitch. I think they make it easy for the likes of Modric and Toni Kroos and Benzema. Because you think of that guy Tuchumani in the midfield, in the deep line midfield, the way he's bowling, bro. These youngsters for Madrid are dangerous. So Madrid won 2-1 against Shakhtar Donetsk. They had a whole lot of chances, but then only scored 2 goals from Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. And then also you have Sevilla at home losing 1-4 to Borussia Dortmund. And the coach, you could see Lopetegui, I think I've heard rumors that he's already left. I don't know if he left or was fired. But then in the WhatsApp groups I am part of, they were saying that he might be the new Wolves coach, so we'll see how that goes. But then Sevilla lost 1-4 to Borussia Dortmund, man. Yeah, those are the results for the night. And they've huge implications on all the groups in the Champions League. For example, Chelsea's win already, like I said, put them in second from the last spot. They jump right to the second spot. So if you manage to beat AC Milan again away from home, nice, because between us and Salzburg, the decider for who finishes first in the group. And then you think of also of the Sevilla and Borussia Dortmund group, man. I think Dortmund might just clinch the second spot, because if what's his name, the Sevilla coach, if he has already like left, there might be cautious next week, and Dortmund at home will try to capitalize on that. So Dortmund might finish second behind Man City. And then, of course, Madrid are leading the group with Arsenal. I think Leipzig will finish second in that group as well. Timo Werner and Nkunku might finish second in that group as well. And then the PSG, Benfica, Juve, Maccabi group. I think the battle for the second spot might be between Benfica and Juventus. Of course, Benfica on level points with PSG, but then you would expect PSG on the return leg next week to actually defeat Benfica at home, and then they top the group. But significant results for some of the groups already know who the winners are going to be. For example, City are going to pull away from that group. I mean, they've been demolishing every team. They bar from Dortmund, where they managed to get a late 2-1 victory. But yeah, man, back to Chelsea. For me, I think I was mostly impressed by Thiago Silva. I think Thiago Silva is the best defender we have at the club at the moment. The way that guy is just so calm, the way he reads the game, I think he can play till he's 40. If he doesn't get a serious injury from now till he's maybe 40 years, I can see, especially if I'm playing in a back three, I can see him always being in the middle of that back three, man. The guy is so calm. It makes sense why if Jorginho and Aspletano playing is the club captain, because you can see his leadership, and it's so vital for the likes of Fofana, and who got off injured, who scored a first goal, by the way, and also Chalopa, to absorb as much information about the art of defending from that guy. Because when you think about it, he won the Scudetto with AC Milan about 11 years ago, and tonight was facing AC Milan and managed to have one of the best games. I mean, Giroud was non-existent, mainly because of him. The way he was targeting Giroud, was stopping Giroud from being a threat. It's quite beautiful to see Thiago Silva play like that, man. Because you do need that calm voice. And then a bit on Koulibaly, he was a bit shaken. I think he gave away 2 quick silly fouls, if I'm being honest. And was lucky not to get a yellow card in the first 5-10 minutes of the game. He was a bit shaky, but then as the game progressed, it became a bit better. And then also have to talk about Reece James, man. He scored a goal, he got another assist. And it's quite interesting because now everyone knows Trent, the England situation with Trent. And Reece James keeps on proving that it deserves to be out of Trent. Going forward, I still think Trent is a bit more special. Just a bit, maybe because Liverpool teams usually finish off Trent's chances, or in the past they've done. But then you saw Trent's free kick against Rangers, what he can do. And Reece replies with a goal plus assist for Opa's goal. So again, and defensively, that guy Liao from AC Milan, first half he was giving Reece the run around. But second half, man, Reece nullified him. And I also have to give a round of applause. Honestly, for me, a round of applause for what's his name? Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, I think now, a bit from last season and this season, even under Conte, he is stepping up. No, sorry, under Tuchel and now under Graham Potter, he is stepping up. For me, he is stepping up to be a midfielder. I mean, I wasn't sure when I saw him starting the match, but he did have a good game. And he does drive forward. I like the way he carries the ball, and you can see he's such a huge guy. So it's difficult for defenders to get the ball off his feet, and they have to actually foul him to get a goal. So I think in the midfield, I don't know how Graham Potter go about it when Kante is fit, but I would love to see a whole lot more of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And we also had a good game. I think Oba is showing us what we needed in a striker. His mobility, his defensive work rate, because he does drop to defend, other than different from what other strikers give us. It does drop to defend. And he gets those strikers goals. He doesn't get those world goals. He gets the goals you expect from a classic top A grade striker, which is what Oba is bringing. For me, I have a slight worry about Sterling. I know, like he gave an assist for this James goal, but then I'm a bit worried with Sterling because this is not Manchester City where they'll create chance after chance after chance till he finally gets a goal. He had a good run in. I think he had about 3 chances, and he should have, in all honesty, buried 1 or set up maybe 2 more goals. So I think he needs to work on that. But we all know Sterling has come a long way with his finishing. But I think at Chelsea, for him to be like the main threat, he needs to maybe get a goal every 2 games or every 3 games for us to say, okay, Sterling does contribute from the wing. I think I would set a personal target for Sterling to get between 12 to 15 goals this season in all competitions. I think he has to step up. If he was playing for a team like City, this is the chance for him to step up and show that at City, yes, us getting glorious chances, but then now I'm proving that I am a good player at Chelsea, you know. Yeah, man, and it's good to see Chilwell playing again. I think he's going to get his match fitness as time goes, so that's a good thing as well, man. But overall, it was a good performance by Chelsea, and I have to give it to Kepa. I wasn't expecting it, but Kepa did pull off a great save in the first half, although AC Milan should have scored with the rebound. But then, yeah, it's good to see Kepa getting a clean sheet. It will be interesting because I've heard reports that Kepa is actually now on the first choice for Graham Potter. It'll be interesting to see how Mendy fights back to get his position back, man. But yeah, that's all for Chelsea. Let's jump right into Manchester City, man. The City machine led by the Cyborg Haaland. What else can you say? I mean, these guys, for the past 2 games alone, they've scored 11 goals. Like in 108 minutes, they've scored 11 goals. 6 against Man U, 5 against FC Copenhagen. That is, despite the opposition, Man U is a big team on paper and historically. And FC Copenhagen, we expect City to put 5 past them. But then for them to bury the chances and create more chances. And it's good to see Jack Grealish actually stepping up so far. These past 2 games, it's been quite impressive. He has been against United, he was impressive. Against even Leipzig, he was impressive. I think it's high time for him to start also pulling numbers like Phil Foden, for him to keep Mahrez off the score sheet, because Mahrez did get a goal and an assist, although the game was a bit out of Copenhagen's reach after when Mahrez came into the game. But then, yeah, man, and then you have to talk about Haaland. If it wasn't for Pep taking him off and saving him for the weekend, Haaland would have got a hat-trick. Man, it's quite scary now. Like, it's just ridiculously scary now, the way that guy is getting goals. I'm dreading the day Chelsea plays against Haaland. I think I would want Kante to be fit. For me, because you can imagine Haaland running a Thiago Silva with that pace that I think would need our back 3 to be extra solid on that day. And I would need Kante to be back. And just tell Kante, do not shift from the DM position. Yes, Kante might not be physically able to stop Haaland. But then at least Kante is the only player I think can actually nibble the ball away from him. Just nibble the ball a bit or put on the tactic that, because you know Kante's tactics are normally 80% successful, right? You know, you can get the ball from any striker. If you remember the Champions League final against City, when De Bruyne was running through and Kante stopped him just before the edge of the box and actually won the ball clean and sweetly. So I think we need Kante. Whenever we're playing City, we need Kante to just sit in ahead of the back 3 and try to do something. I'm not saying it's going to be the answer to Haaland, but then I would want Kante to play. Because this City team, and Haaland is bearing chances. Like, you know, those cutbacks City is famous for now, those pullbacks, Haaland is always open. I mean, I'm starting to think that it's not only the opposition's team's fault that he's always open. The guy is such a huge footballing brain, man, at such a young age, that he knows how to find those little pockets within defenders around him. And these players is playing in a team where they can find and give him the ball where he wants to be, just to hit it first time, man. And the cross would be just delicious for him to just lash onto it first time and get a goal. And he did score like a brace, as I said. And it's actually scary because most of the teams or most of the players, for them to get a hat trick is normally 2 goals and maybe a penalty. This guy is scoring them without penalties. You know, yes, he did score a penalty in the Premier League, but then most of his hat tricks are without penalties. So that's a bit scary. And then we talk about Real Madrid, the current holders. What can you say about Madrid that we haven't said about Madrid? They are 14 times champions. I know I sound like a cheerleader for Madrid, but then I don't like that club at all. Those who know me personally, they know I'm Barca through and through. But then you can't. Madrid and these underage workers. I know they're of age, but then, man, they look so young. They are underage workers. Madrid is pulling. I think we have to investigate their birth certificates, man. There is no way those boys are that good at a young age. Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr. And as well, what's his name? His name is the guy who assisted Vinicius in the Champions League final, who plays from the flank. What's his name? I know my Madrid friends who hate me for this, but then yeah, those guys are so young, man. That's an illegal scheme. That's child labor on Madrid's part, and they are dragging the team to victory. You think Rodrigo? If you look at Rodrigo, you can see he's a young guy. Like, you know, if he was in a school uniform, no one would say he's old enough to be in a school uniform. Vinicius Jr. for me, I think he's the best youngster at the moment. I remember a friend of mine telling me this was a staunch Madrid player, and I thought maybe he's just being too biased. But then I've seen Vinicius Jr. for Brazil, for Madrid. He looks deadly. He is the dangerous outlet. If you watch the Madrid derby before the international break against Atletico, he was the most feared player by Atletico Madrid. That's why there was also the whole incidents about him dancing and being targeted by Atletico Madrid. He's the most dangerous player in La Liga at the moment. I know Lewandowski get the goals, Benzema get the goals, but for me, he's the MVP of La Liga at the moment. And when you think about Madrid, I think he's the trump card because he's got the pace, he's got the dynamism. He's not like a CR7, he's a low center of gravity, but then he's effectively deadly. And he likes dribbling a lot. The Brazilian flame in him. He's like a Neymar with more speed and more pace. And with an end goal and like an end result. We can back up an end result, man. So, yeah, Madrid, we expect Madrid, they've won all their matches so far. We expect Madrid to go the way. If they're to be knocked out by any team, we expect them to be knocked out maybe in the semi-final or against, maybe they're drawn maybe against the City with this Haaland, maybe in the quarter-final. But then Madrid is being Madrid, man. They just continue to show their class and show that for them, Champions League is like La Liga. You know, they got results like it's La Liga. And then we have to talk about PSG. I mean, for PSG, I think they'll be disappointed with just getting a score draw. But Benfica did play well. Benfica did step up to the plate, even though they got an on goal PSG for the match to end 1-1. But Benfica did like control the game. But then again, man, that front three, that front three is deadly. The Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. I mean, the Messi goal, man. And Messi, the way Messi has evolved his game. You see how CR7 has evolved his game to become a striker. Messi, the more Messi gets older, the more he gets more involved in the build-up and then he runs late. He's always done that, but then he used to do it. He used to be more deadly in the final third. Now he doesn't mind receiving the ball around the center circle and then just spraying his passes, running through defenders, man, to create space. And, you know, that sweet... You know, in my lifetime, I never watched Diego Maradona, but in my lifetime, I think I've never seen a more deadly left foot than that of Messi. I mean, you know the goal is going to get. That's the thing with Messi. You see, with Ronaldo, can just let a shot from nowhere. But with Messi, you know the goal is going to get. You know the sweet, what you call it, the bender. We used to call them benders growing up. The sweet, I forgot the term and the FIFA term. You know, where you just press the keys and then, yeah. Messi, you know the goal is going to get, man. I'm such a huge Messi stan. You know the goal is going to get, and it does go. Keepers know what's coming, but they just can't keep it out of the box. And it will be interesting to see how PSG plays against Benfica. You expect PSG to make it to the round of 16. I think the stumbling block will always be when they get into the knockout stages. And I think for me, the Champions League run depends on how their stars perform at the World Cup. I mean, if it's a heartbreak for Messi, imagine if Messi goes all the way to the final, then he loses the World Cup twice, the World Cup final twice. That would be a huge heartbreak for him. Will you have the same mindset to revenge on the Champions League like he did after 2014 with Barca when they won it in 2015? Or will he just accept that World Cup is no longer my stage, I did my best, maybe I'll wait for the next one if the legs are still there for him to maybe play as a number 10, like out and out number 10. Or will he step up differently, man? But then, like, I feel like for PSG to go all the way to the final, their stars need to have a good World Cup and they have to come back with that same desire and hunger to win the Champions League. Maybe if, let's say, Brazil wins the World Cup or France retains it, Neymar Mbappe will come with that. I need to round it off with the Champions League for me to win the Ballon d'Or. Because imagine if let's say Mbappe retains the World Cup and then also wins the Champions League, automatically Ballon d'Or winner. Same as Neymar, same as Messi if that happens. But then now I would expect PSG to get out of the group. And then we talk Juventus, whom I think if Juventus had lost this game, as I've said in my previous videos, the coach would have been fired. So for them to get a 3-1 victory, it was a 3-1 victory. It's well deserved. It's not shocking, but then you'd expect that from the class and the players they have. And then, I think Sevilla and Dortmund would just touch a bit on that. And then Leipzig and Celtic, like I said, Leipzig will finish second against Real Madrid now. And there'll be a difficult team to play, whoever plays them in knockout stages, man. But overall, it's been a good Champions League weekend. It was a bad one for me when Barca lost, but then with Chelsea stepping up, it's a good Champions League game week. Next week, I love how the games keep on coming. Premier League, La Liga weekend, Serie A, League One weekend, midweek is Champions League, and then we have Europa League for Man United fans and Arsenal fans. And Epiron United, they're playing against Umonia. Epiron Manchester United, sorry. They're playing against a team called Umonia. Nice, Omonia. But man, I can't believe the coach is going to start in such a match, man. Manchester United is wrong for the team to Sierra, man. If it was 2015 me, where I was really invested in the Messi versus Sierra 7 debate, I would be laughing and enjoying what Ronaldo is going through. But then now, my football in playing with maturity, man, you have to appreciate Ronaldo before he eventually calls it quits or before he falls off from his highest standard, man. But for him to be starting against these teams, man, I think he might be sitting there at his $1 million pound mission, thinking, what did I get myself into coming back at Manchester United? Yes, I did sell shirts, I did trend, but then now I'm trending for the wrong reasons, bro. Sitting on the bench on a 6-3 defeat, starting against Umonia. Man. But yeah, it's football, it's life, man. Hopefully he does get his move in January or after the World Cup or end of the season, man. But then Manchester United are playing Omonia. I'm not sure which team Arsenal is playing against rather. And of course, it would be interesting to see if Arsenal fields their strong 11 or maybe first half or just give youngsters a run because they do play Liverpool on Sunday. And it would be interesting to see again as well as which players Ten Hag. I expect the teams to be a bit different from the starting 11s they have. And it would be interesting to see if Martial does play this game or not. Because Martial is injury prone. So will Ten Hag preserve him for the weekend match or will he just put him in there to expect to get a result? And then, of course, West Ham also plays in the Conference League. I haven't been watching the Conference League, man. You said I watch Europa League, Conference League. I would only watch it if Chelsea plays Conference League. Officially, I don't see that happening, but then, yeah, man. Anyway, it's been, like I said, guys, it's been a beautiful week of Champions League football. We'll be back again with another video. I think I'll react a bit to Europa League results and also Conference League results. And we'll also give you a show on the upcoming Premier League fixtures, game week number 10, man. There are huge fixtures as well. I think the standard fixture already will be the Liverpool against Arsenal. Because if Arsenal does get a victory, then I think we start putting them up there as Premier League title contenders, So it'll be interesting to see as well if Tottenham Hotspur do bounce back with a victory. And against Manchester United, what will they do in the Premier League? Another interesting talking point. But we'll drop a video. Don't forget to turn on the notification button for our videos and like and subscribe and like. That's the gospel according to MIM Sports. You can't come to YouTube channel, watch a video, and not hit the like or subscribe button. Anyway, guys, this has been fun. Don't forget to check out the channel for more content videos. And I'm your host, Ronald M. I appreciate your support a lot. Cheers. See you next time.